Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you are in the world today, hope that you are doing great. Hope that all is pleasant for you. And most importantly, my friends, I hope that you are in good health. Once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. On this channel, my friends, we get to talk about those things that people know, that people have thought about, but don't often have the time to discuss. These, my friends, are the things we talk about here on the Common Sense channel. So, once again, welcome to the Common Sense channel. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important, and it's the truth. The truth is so essential to our lives that not everyone want to hear it. The truth, in my view, is the bedrock for all morality, or for all ethics, for every guiding principles that guides the universe and everything therein. The truth. The truth, my friends, is hard to hear, is hard to comprehend, and is hard to take in. And in our world today, we are slowly and slowly and slowly discovering that there are no truth in the world. There is a reggae musician named Lucky Dube. He says, "No truth in the world, no truth in the world," and it took his life so soon. He was speaking facts. Imagine had he been around today, Lucky Dube. I can almost certainly tell you he would have a YouTube channel, and all he would be doing is speaking the truth to injustice and evildoers. He thought about it in his teens, in the 90s, and then he was singing it out to the world. And that's what each of us must do. Why do you want to speak the truth? Because you care about our world. You care about the environment. You care about the people that live within the environment. You care about your community. You care about your neighbor. You care about your society. You care, my friends, about the country that you live in. So speaking the truth and standing on the truth is the most relevant thing and the most noble thing any human being can do. And I tell you what, there are elements in our world, there are people in our world that we have looked up to for many, many years as elegant, as upright, as righteous, as noble. And these individuals, my friends, are not what you think. But one thing that I've always said, even to friends and people that I love dearly, is whatever that is hidden in the dark, the truth will bring it to light. And people who are in power and authority are often, or most of the time, afraid of the truth. And I think it's also true. The truth is also true for even those who are not in power or in authority. You understand? Imagine what the truth does to a child that was told his or her entire life falsehood, false identity, and then they discover the truth. Two things could happen. One, whatever that truth does to that child, it either make or break them. It depends on how that truth is presented. That's why the great actor in Hollywood, I forgot his name, he says, "You want to know the truth?" And then the guy say, "Yes, we want to know the truth." And then he says to him, "You can handle the truth." You understand? Because the truth is in essence our hell. Once you know the truth, you, my friend, will always be tormented until you can do the right thing. And that's what the truth is essential. Some people will bury that for decades, their entire life. Some people may even die or exit this world without facing the truth. You know, religious people might say to you that he's going to go to heaven and hell, they're going to be burned there, and then that's that. He's going to have his judgment, or she's going to have a judgment there. All of that stuff is nonsense. And then you ask them, how is that going to happen? They haven't been there. No one hasn't been to hell or heaven that came back and said this is what it was. So it doesn't exist. It's just an illusion. But the only thing that's not an illusion, the only thing that is not an illusion is the truth. And a lot of people would do what people, humans, would do whatever it takes, even if it means enliven another people, another person, another society, another culture, in order to prevent the truth from coming to light. But in spite of everything, in spite of what they do, the truth has always remained the truth. You can dress it however you want. You can prevent the world, the society, the people, your child, whatever you do to prevent the truth from coming out. Eventually, or one day, the truth, my friends, would expose itself, because the truth is actually your judgment. It's your judgment. As I've always said, whatever you do on this planet, my friends, this is where you're going to be judged. You, my friend, before you exit this world, whatever is it you've done in the dark, no matter how long it takes, it can take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of your life. The truth, the judgment against the evil that you've done, you will be judged here. Even if it's on your dying bed. Even when you're at that last moment of your life, you, my friend, will be required to face in the truth. Some people call it dying request or dying confession. That's the judgment. So outside of this universe, my friends, there are no judgment. Imagine if there were judgment as religious people, organized religious people, organized religious people want us to believe. This is just common sense now. You need to think. That's what this is the essence of my channel. I want you to think. Let's say, hypothetically, there is a place called hell or heaven. And heaven is the truth. Hell is the judgment, right? So if you do the right thing, that's where you go. You facing the truth and you go to heaven. Do you think, because most of the evil people are as religious as any of us out there, out here in this world. And they know the truth. They know what's good, what's bad. They know the consequences. In their head, the consequences is hell. But inasmuch as they know these consequences, which are often based on falsehood, they know there's no relevancy to whatever that consequence is. So because of that, they will willfully, willfully indulge in behavior that are opposite or contrary to the narrative of hell and heaven. So the only way they can be judged, my friends, is by human beings that are their peers or that are the living on this earth that will judge them. Outside of the living, they are dead. The dead does not judge the dead. I say the spirit, because humans are spirit when you die. Spirit do not eat, they don't drink, they don't talk, they only exist. They are infinite. They don't die, but they exist. You understand? They will communicate with you if they have to communicate with you. If they want to communicate with you, or if they have a message for you. You understand? But outside of that, there's nothing they can do. So these people that indulges in evil doing or in evil activities, whatever it is, in darkness, that dwells in dark places, in high places. Because some people like to say, I need to do a video on Satanism. I will do a video on Satanism because that's what's one of the things that's going on out there. Because some people believe Satan exists. And this is all an illusion, you know. So I'm going to do a video on that. But today we're talking about the truth. The truth is your judgment again. Some people live with this stuff forever, but eventually it comes out. Why am I doing this video? I'm doing this video because right now in our world, what stands between, especially in America and across the globe, what stands between, if it's in America, the American people and the government, is the truth. What stands between everything that is happening out there, whether it's the Epstein files, whether it's the war in Ukraine and Israel and America, whatever is happening out here, what stands between all of these things, my friends, are the truth. You know, and let me tell you, as I've said before, humans will do whatever it takes to hide the truth. For example, the truth about who we are as humans is something that has been hidden from us for thousands of years. The only thing it takes to unveil this truth is to discover the self. And these individuals that have buried the truth from us, they're telling us, you cannot handle the truth. And we, for those of us that are the enlightened ones, and as I said, For to whom much is given, much is expected. If you have discovered yourself, it is incumbent upon you, my friends, to help others discover themselves. Jesus said it another way, Yeshua HaMashiach, and even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and other religious doctrines out there. Your life should be like the light. Your life should be like the truth. Although most people are not attractive to the truth, but they are also interested in knowing the truth. Because what the truth does is set you free. In my own personal view, the truth is your salvation. It's what free you. And these people that are in power, in high places that control everything that we do, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we walk, the information we absorb, the places we go, our entire existence. They don't want us to know the truth of ourselves. And that's why I think in the Garden of Eden, Satan, as they want to call him, or the devil, or Lucifer, was not a physical being. It was it's a illustration. The entire story of Adam and Eve and in the Garden of Eden is an illustration to show you, my friends, what the truth does in the minds of the human race. Look at your own child. When they are born, they're innocent, they are blank, they don't know much. Once they discover themselves, they don't need Satan to come and tell them, have sex. But once if they're virgin, they're innocent. But once they have sex and understand, once they have sex and understand the feelings of having that experience, it changes the entire mindset, their behavior change. They start to do things in a way that you've never seen before. That's the knowledge that Satan, like they want to say, organized religious people, was in that garden to teach, to illustrate. But again, it's a story. But that story can also be applied to your own life. And that's why I give you that example of a child who is a virgin, a female, a male. It's the same thing. Once they discover themselves, you see the entire behavior change. It's what's happened when Adam and Eve, when Eve discovered herself, her entire behavior changes. It's the same thing with your 12, 13, 14, 15, 18 years old child. It's a natural thing when people come about the truth about themselves, which is hidden from them, because parents wouldn't tell you to have sex. I don't know parents that would tell a child to have sex if they're a teenager. But they will tell you in a way that is indicative to the story in the Garden of Eden. Like God come into the garden, do not eat that fruit. If you do this, that I didn't tell you why you shouldn't eat it. He said, okay, he said you'll die, but it's lie. You understand? It's the same thing. Your parents are not going to tell you the implication of not having sex. They're just going to tell you, don't have sex because it's not good. If they're super, super religious now, or organized religious, if they're following that, They'll tell you, don't do this because it's bad. It's not good for you. Some who are honest will tell you, if you do this, like my mom now, you this is what these are the consequences. She'll tell you, and it's true. She'll tell you the consequence. But the God in that Bible, in the story of Genesis, did not tell them more into it. Just say you will die. He didn't say you would become knowledgeable. Say you would die, which is a lie. But when the wise one shows up in the picture, which is what all of us should be. So Satan, in my view, is Jesus. Because the same thing Satan did in the Garden of Eden, it's the same thing Jesus did, not Yeshua HaMashiach. It's the same thing Jesus did when he came. He started to enlighten the people. He told them that your body is the temple of the Most High. You don't need a building. Compare that to what the devil did, Satan did in the Garden of Eden. He told them, look, if you eat that fruit, although he told you, or whatever that entity was that told you, don't eat that. Guess what? When you eat, you become wise. You wouldn't die. Don't listen to him. He's lying. It's the same thing with a 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, 18 years old girl or boy. Their friend telling her, your mom is super religious. Your parents are super religious. I know your dad is very straight. Your mom is very straight, which is good. But let me tell you, the day you do that thing, you will be different. You feel good. You see, just try it. That friend is not evil. The friend is only telling you what you would eventually do. It's just that your parents don't want you to do it now. But they're telling you what you would do. No matter how long it takes, you will experience that. But your friend has already experienced it, and their eyes have come open to understanding who they are and their feelings sexually. You understand? And here's the thing, when someone is repressed for a long time as far as their sexuality is concerned, the moment they get into any sexual activity, they become promiscuous because you've repressed yourself, the true nature of who you are, because all human beings are born or are designed to reproduce, to be sexual, not in a promiscuous way, but we are designed to be sexual beings. That's what we are. So when you repress that part of you for a long time, and then all of a sudden you burst into that knowledge, it makes you want to do more. That's why when a boy have a sexual relationship with an older woman, if he's a young boy, he'll always constantly go back. He wouldn't be able to think, or she wouldn't be able to think. You understand? They're going to keep going back because the experience, the drive alone makes you want to keep going back. And it's true. It's the same thing with the truth. Once you discover the truth, you want more. You want to find more. You're in tune. You're paying attention. You gather information. You didn't know, and you're trying to put them together. Now you start to ask yourself, what do I do with all of this information or all of these informations? And something comes to your mind and says, teach others. Teach one, teach all. That's what I do on my channel. I often say, even if it's one person that watched my video, I know that one person can teach others. So no matter how long you hide the truth is like a rash. on the body. Hmm? You can hide it however you want with whatever cosmetics out there, makeup. You can put it over it over and over and over. I heard one of the queen, I don't know if it was Queen Elizabeth or something, the first one, the original one, the ancestor one, the one that brought the others into this world. She was so into makeup that beneath the skin start to rot. That's what I heard. Because she was hiding. She kept hiding the deformity of herself, and then it became worse. It's the same thing in our lives when we hide, when the truth is hidden from us. And that's why I say people don't die because of um how do you call it? Because of sin. Because that's what they like to say. You die because of sin. No. Humans do not die because of sin. Human beings exit this world because they don't know. They don't know a lot of things about themselves, not just their own personal life, but everything around them. And I think only the truth can allow you to know everything about you, everything about those around you, and then your environment. Because if you are in tune with your environment, especially the food you eat, if you know the truth about the food you eat, if you know the truth about the medication you're taking, if you know the truth about those around you who are caring for you, if you're an elderly or sick person, if you know the truth about them, if you know the truth of their existence, if you know the truth about your government, what your government is doing, whether local, state, or federal, you will know how to, your behavior will change. And that the thing that makes your behavior change, or the elements that impacts your behavior to change it, is the truth. Imagine if you know the truth around the medication or the air that you're breathing or your environment. What will you do is the question. Will you sit there and allow that truth to kill you or murder you or make you exit this world untimely? Or would you do something? So those in power, in higher places, in authority, they don't want you to know the truth. Because what it does, it's going to make you live longer. It's going to make you take a proactive steps, a measure towards making sure you're creating a boundaries from them. And that's what they don't want you to know. As far as the Epstein file is concerned, the only thing that stands between the American people and the Epstein files, my friends, is the truth. And the only thing that I've often asked the Almighty for is for more and more people in our world to speak the truth and to know the truth. Because once you know the truth, and as I've always said too, in order for you to experience these things, you have to discover the self. And in order to discover the self, you must know the truth. And once you know the truth, you've discovered yourself. And that's what I hope and pray for, that people can discover themselves. Yes, they've hidden so much from you. Just like your mom that a woman or a man that stole a baby from a hospital for 20, 30, 40, 50 years never told that child that they belong to some family out there. But the child grows up and notices something is different. And then one day they encounter their real parents. Imagine what that does to that child. Again, as I said, it either make or break that person if they're not strong. But if they are stronger, they could be a better human being. Because now, my friends, they have eventually find out the truth. You understand? And these are the things that I talk about here. No matter how long people hide the truth, for a long time, there are propagandists that go out there, say all sort of lies about other people, other cultures. Not going too far from this, Africa. There are a lot of people that have said lies about Africa, how Africans, they live in huts, they're dead poor, they're living in poverty, they don't have good roads, they don't have, which is some of them are true, but not all. Not all is true. So it only took a guy named I Show Speed to go to Africa. I mean, the other people been going to Africa, but it took one individual to go there and show a few places. And now all of a sudden, everybody like, oh, is that what it is? So you see what the truth does. So if someone had said something terrible about a race of people or a culture of people, it's hard for you to understand if you don't know the truth about them. So that's why I think in the future, even if it's not with the United Nations, you understand? Because the United Nations is dead. That's a non-existent organization right now, as far as I'm concerned. They're not relevant in the world. They're not relevant at all. They're feckless, they're weak, they'll do nothing. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the United Nations does not exist. But whatever body or organization that will emerge in the new world order, which I know is already here, is here. It's going to happen. America is only fighting the truth. You understand? I don't think it's going to make America weak. America is still going to be just like England when England hand over the world superpower title ship to America. It didn't make them weaker. They're still there. They're still relevant. As far as I'm concerned, England is still a powerful country. America is just on the side. The only thing is they both work together. There's nothing America does that England don't know. There's nothing England does that America don't know. As far as I'm concerned, again, England is the old money. England, even though it's a small country, but it's a powerful country. But they're just sitting on the side. You understand? They're not flexing, nothing like that. America needs to know the truth. The truth is right there. But the only thing is they haven't really accepted yet. When I say America, I'm talking about a country. I'm talking about the government. Because the American people are wise. They pay attention. And I hope and pray that this generation, our generation, would find the truth every day of our lives. And the more we discover the truth, the more we become wiser. And the more we stop buying some of these lies from our politicians. Let me tell you, once a politician is dealing with a, a highly educated, informed, inclined, or driven to the truth, they're not going to screw it up with you. And also, they should come from your class. They should come from, I think politicians should come from, if it's a working class that are voting for them, I think it's time we should get rid of the elite. The elite can be there, but it shouldn't be in politics. You understand? When I talk of the elite, I'm talking about those people that are in the Epstein files. Because it looks like the elite always mess with women. One of the biggest crime is sexual crime. They like to mess with women. I don't know why. I think they mess with men too, but maybe that's gonna come out later in the Epstein files. But yeah, I think they like the sexual thing. I think there's something ritual to that too. But yeah, the truth is what leads to all of the calamities that we are seeing today. Yeah, the truth. The truth is everything. And those people that don't want, I mean, there were people that were burned at stake. There were people that were hung. There were people that had their head chopped off. All because of the truth. When I say these individual, I'm talking of individuals that were wise, that have had discovered themselves and they discover the truth. Because once you discover yourself, you start to see it. It's just there, and that's what happened to Eve. When Eve discovered herself, she saw everything, but Adam didn't see it. So that story is you. That stuff is an illusion. That whole story in the Garden of Eve and Eden and Adam and Eve, it's an illusion. It's your story. They put together and just presented that to you as a true story that existed. You can find, you cannot find nowhere on this planet the Garden of Eden. Nowhere. It's fictitious, but it's your story. You were in the darkness of knowledge and truth, and someone came along and they presented to you the truth of who you are, and then brought you out of the darkness. That, my friend, of friends, is what the Garden of Eden represent. A man or a woman in darkness, and someone wise, the wise one, came and took you out of the darkness and brought you into the light, which is the truth of who you are. And now you become one of them. That's why they say the day you eat of the fruit, you'll be like us. Who is us? You'll be like the rest of society, the rest of the world that have discovered their sexuality, who they are. So if you're a person that likes women and you're female and you discover that, that's where you go. If you're someone that like men, you discover yourself, that's where you go. Because that's your sexuality. And I don't think you should be ashamed of who you are. So that's why I always say discover the self. Once you discover yourself, you should not back away from it. Love that. Cherish it. Embrace it, because that's who you are. That's your true nature. You shouldn't run away from that. Don't let these people out here steal away that joy from you. Whatever it is that you are, that's your truth. Embrace it. If these so-called organized religious people, if they want to live their life that way, hey, it's a choice. We all came into this world freely, and we will exit freely. Whatever it is that you've done with your life while you're here, that's your business. The only thing you shouldn't do that I think is wrong is that whatever it is that you're doing with your life that you think is good for your life, just don't infringe that on others. Because when you do, on this earth, which is where you will be judged. So if you're a religious, organized religious person, and in your fantasies or in your head, you think you will be judged in that place called hell, And heaven, let me tell you, if you commit some of your fantasies here, we will judge you here, my friend. We humans, not spirit now. We will judge you as humans. If you commit a crime here that is heinous and evil, we will lock you up here in prison for the rest of your eternal life. Because here on this earth, I'm talking about unrealistic place or fictitious place. I'm talking about a place where real human being lives. And the truth, we will judge you here before you be judged over there. So whatever it is that you're gonna do, don't think we're gonna judge you here, then someone is gonna judge you over there. No, not gonna happen. You are facing that judgment here before you leave. And part of your judgment will be passed down to your children. Anytime people see your children, they will remember you of them. They will remind you of what your relative did. That would be the judgment, even if you exit here. Understand? You know Adolf Hitler, right? All the atrocities and evil he did. You know his relative, out of what he done, they had to change their names. They scatter across the world. They remain obscure. No one know who they are. They change their names. They change their identities. All because of what he did. Because humans will always remember what you've done. And that's what the organized religious people say. The evil that man does lives after them. That's true in the case of Epstein. The evil he did, because he didn't see it as evil, because he had all these people participating that are highly powerful elite people. And now they've portrayed a different image. And that's why you shouldn't be fooled by all of these people. Some of these people, they come, they stand in front of you, they're elegant, they're well-dressed, they're well-spoken. You look up to them, you think they're better human beings. You might be even better than them. They talk of how good they are and how they're trying to help you better your life. But beneath the facade is the evil one masquerading as a good person. Only the truth can expose these people. And let me tell you, they cannot handle the truth. If they have to kill to hide the truth, they will do that. If they have to annihilate an entire race of people, an entire culture of people, they will do that. When these same individual, when they went to Africa with the Bible in their hands, they saw the Africans. Africans already were spirituals. They brought this lie to them. They told them that their God is Jesus. He's a white man. Nothing against white people. They started the colorism and all that stuff. Because if Jesus ever existed, he never talked about his color. And they turned all of the people in the Bible to Europeans to fit the narrative which is a lie. Today, they can't even defend this stuff. They can't. So there are millions of people that have been misled, and they're just walking off the cliff, one after the other. Imagine, just see the scenario I'm talking about. They are just walking off the cliff into the darkness, even though the truth is calling them. Come on here. Come on here. Get yourself out of that place. You are in the darkness. Come into the light of thyself. It's the same thing Satan was doing. He went into that garden. So that would be your friend. that saw you in distress of the truth, knowledge of the self, and that friend tried to pull you out into the light. If you can see it that way, you will understand that everything they've told you about thyself is a lie. You understand? The truth, in my view, is life, is salvation, is redemption. You understand? And if you can seek the truth, find the truth, acknowledge the truth, embellish the truth into thyself, you would be enlightened. And that enlightenment, my friend or friends, is your salvation. That's why Jesus didn't say you must believe in the truth. Jesus never said believe in the truth. Jesus says, Yeshua HaMashiach says, know thy truth. Once you know the truth, you, my friend, will be set free. And you will be indeed set free. I don't know how to feel. I can express the feeling to you, but I know how I feel inside. I do. And when I come on here, this is what I do. I say the truth. I know there are people out there, and this is time immemorial, that have always tried to prevent the truth from going to the masses. It's not just this government that's engaging in that. Religious people too. Organized religious people too. They don't want you to know everything. Once you start to get closer, they'll find a way. If nothing, they'll kick you out of their cliques. Yeah, they will kick you out. They'll be like, they'll find something allegation or something to lever against you so that you don't get closer. It's been true for all the people before you. So don't ever think you're the first. There's been other people too that try to seek the truth. And once they try, they either malign them, fire them, kick them out, do even murder them. So they never discover the truth. Imagine a husband and a wife. The husband is doing something fishy. And the wife starts to suspect that either he's cheating on her or he's hiding something from her that she doesn't know, but she's suspecting something. So all of a sudden, she's doing her investigation. He doesn't know. And then eventually, my friends, this is the good part. She stumbled upon him and she discovered the truth. You understand? Maybe he's hiding his sexuality. Maybe he's cheating on her with another woman. Or maybe she's cheating on him with another man. Or maybe she's hiding her sexuality. Or maybe the child that he has with her is not his child. Or maybe, likewise, or other vice versa. So when either of them stumbled upon the truth on the other side, that, my friend, can lead to murder. It can lead to a disastrous outcome. All because one of them have discovered the truth about the other. So people will do whatever it takes to hide the truth. But in order for you to know the truth, you must be persistent, you must be tolerant, you must be patient, and you must continue to seek the truth. Why? Because that, my friend, is your salvation. That's what Satan was doing. That's exactly what Jesus himself, Yeshua HaMashiach, was doing and got in trouble. Understand? But when you look throughout the Bible, you see Satan is the good one. He's the one that's the enlightened one. I call him the wise one. Yes. Although they like to say Satanism. I'm gonna do a video on that, and then we're gonna debunk the whole crap. Because there's no such thing as Satanism. It's an illusion. They want you to believe that. So you believe that there are certain people. Do you see this group of people over here? They're all Satanists. That's a lie. It doesn't exist. It's a organized religious concept that's there to mislead you from seeing the truth again. So again, I don't want my video to be too long. Like when I sit on these things, the knowledge just keep flowing, and it's fun to be in tune with the ancestors and just flow. That's why I don't do my videos during the day. I do them midnight, if you know what I mean now. Like that's the time when all souls are sleeping. The spirit world is awake, and they enlighten you, open your mind. That's why I talk a lot when I do these, because the knowledge just keep flowing. I don't write any of these, by the way. It just flow. You understand? And I keep doing it. I love it. And I hope and pray that all human beings can come to that realization, which is the truth of thyself. And that's what Satan was doing. So any of us that try to enlighten others, to take them out of the darkness into the light, we are playing the role of Satan, Lucifer, which is the wise one. Just like a good old friend that have discovered themselves and want the same thing for others. It's the same thing. Let no one tell you it's wrong. When someone try to teach you, there are people that will prevent their kids from hanging out with the wise ones because they don't want them to be enlightened. But I don't think it's bad, because eventually you're going to know. So why don't you know now? You want to know when you're 50 years old, 60, 70? No, now. That way you extend your life for another 40, another 50 years, right? So again, I want to thank everyone that continue to watch my videos. I want to thank those that continue to support what I do. I want to also thank those that continue to be subscribed to my channel. And I want to also thank those too that continue to hinder my videos. That's fine too. Again, it's the truth. You can't hide away from the truth. Even if it takes decades, it's going to come out. That's just how it is. It is what it is. So again, I want to thank all those people that watch my videos. I noticed that most of my audiences are Nigerians, they are Ghanaians, and I think the bulk of them are from America. So I honor you. I honor you and your family, and I know one day each of us are going to discover the truth. The only thing is you don't want to discover that too late. You want to do it now, of who you are and where you're going. That's the most important truth anyone can give to you, because it can take you a long way. Again, I want to say that I hope that you are doing great. Hope that all is pleasant for you. And most importantly, my friends, I hope that you are in good health. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Thank you.